Hi, will you need to serve if you're going to move to Russia? I'm Anna, Russian language teacher, tour guide, and this is my guest Ilya, and he can answer for this question.
So my name is Ilya Belobragin. I'm the general managing partner of the company MoveToRussia.com. And there has been some updates, and I think a lot of people want to have some answers to that wonderful question.
Yes, so guys, if you're interested to know more about it, please continue watch this video. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. You always ask me how to move to Russia, what kind of type of visa you can get, which is the best option of moving to Russia. By the way guys, if you didn't watch our video with my guest Ilya, which we already done, I will share this here, the link, and you will read and watch more about getting a golden visa and getting residence permit. And today guys, in this video, we are going to show you updates. We got the new decree when we can answer for the question, will you need to serve if you are moving to Russia? So Ilya, could you answer please for this question?
Of course. There has been a lot of rumors and news going around with this new decree, number 821, from the 5th of November 2025. And there has been a lot of, I would say, almost like online panic, like now everybody that comes to Russia will need to serve in the army and they will kind of get you directly from the airport to the front lines. Well, worry not. Let's first start out and actually get a bit of a background. What is a decree and why was it even originally introduced? So in the Russian federal law, there is no requirement that one should serve either if you are going to get a residency or if you're going to get a citizenship. Once, of course, you get a citizenship, you can be drafted to the army. That's kind of I would say, a privilege of having a citizenship in Russia. You can be drafted. There is no kind of going around it. A decree is something that is introduced by the president for a temporal measure. So it's not a permanent thing. This decree was introduced due to the fact that there has been quite a few, I would say, working migrants from the Central Asia that almost, I would say, bragged about the fact that they could be in Russia without serving in the army. And apparently that kind of irritated some political figures, and they introduced this wonderful decree. So a lot of migrants, working migrants from the Central Asia, there's about at least 5 million of them in Russia. Now, if they want to kind of get a permanent residency, or if they want to get a citizenship, if you're an adult male between 18 and 65, you have to first apply for service. And then the service is going to either judge you sufficient so you can serve or not. Essentially, it's a limiting factor, so a lot of the working migrants shouldn't get a permanent residency in that sense, because kind of the logic is that, well, if you want to stay in Russia for a long time, you should be ready to serve. Otherwise, sorry, but don't do it. What has also happened is that the wonderful shared values visa, that kind of right now got in the way of this whole thing, right? So when they introduced this decree, they haven't thought about all the eventualities. And the shared values, it's still a very small number of people that kind of going through it compared to the 5 million, right? There is, I think, 4,000 right now. The bottom line is that when you're going for the shared values, temporary residence permit, you will not need to serve. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. However, when you're later on, if you are right now upgrading from the temporary residence to a permanent residency, if you went for the shared values decree program, you will unfortunately need to apply for the army service for now. But the decree is there as long as the special military operation is ongoing. So when the special military operation is concluded, the decree will be annulled as well. And also, as we hear rumors right now, there is political kind of progress that they're going to make some amendments that probably specifically exclude the actual shared values pathway, which is also excellent. So what we actually tell to everybody that is going for the shared values, don't stop what you're doing. Please go on with the temporary residence permit. The temporary residence permit is for 3 years. During that time, two things are most likely to happen. Either the special military operation is just concluded, or they're going to make amendments to the actual decree of 821 that is recent, to make sure that the shared values pathway is excluded from that one. So we're not really worried about this whole thing because we know exactly who it was aimed at. And it was never aimed at the shared values program and the people that are applying through it.
And after 3 years?
After 3 years, if you don't want to go for the permanent residency, what you should do is then just go again and apply for another temporary residence for another 3 years.
So they can get it again?
Yeah, they can just
really?
kind of do the whole thing, recycle. But a lot of people, I think that going for the shared values, they want to later upgrade to the permanent residency and later upgrade for the citizenship. One actually program that is not affected by this new decree is other people that are going through the so-called golden visa with the investments.
Golden visa.
So golden visa and investment path is not affected by the need of this new decree. You can just kind of directly get a permanent residency without worrying about it. But that demands a bit of investment for you and your family, which is also an excellent path.
So people also can get a golden visa, but as I know, for getting golden visa, you need to do investments.
Yes.
Just like to buy some property.
Yeah.
And
or invest in stock.
Investment stock, and also they will need to learn to pass a Russian language exam.
Yep, that's another thing right now. And so for the golden visa, a bit of an update. There's been an update regarding the rules. Now, if you get a permanent residency for the golden visa, you don't need to stay in Russia. So
you don't? Because last time you told me that
180 days. Now, 0 days. So you essentially can have a permanent residency in Russia without the need to kind of stay in Russia.
So how it looks like, for example, someone is in America or in Europe, and person just come here, buy property or send money another way, and this person, then he pass Russian language exam. It's required.
So,
and he gets this visa and he can move to any place, so no need to stay here.
So how it works right now is that you can invest in Russia, get a permanent residency for you and the whole family, but you don't need to actually move to Russia. You can then have it as a plan B in your back pocket just in case. A bit of a hurdle is still, as you mentioned, the language test. It's still required for all the adults between 18 and 65. Now we are working as well with a bit of, I would say, advisory to ensure that the language requirement are either removed or postponed. So I hope we'll have some good news as well in the next half a year or a year about that as well. Because ultimately what I think is best for Russia is that what we want to see is that golden visa should have 0 stay requirement and no language requirement. And of course the shared values visa have no language requirement for the temporary residence. When you upgrade to permanent residency, it should of course still have the language requirement. It will have the residency requirement as well for 180 days out of the year. However, of course, there shouldn't be any kind of rules regarding the serving of things. That's gonna be hopefully amended quite soon.
So if like you guys over than 65 years old,
you're great.
you're great. Yeah, so you don't need to pass Russian language exam.
Yeah.
Yes, you just get the visa. Or if you are less, guys, by the way, also, you know, I can teach you Russian. Here you can see my website, annaglobaltravel.ru. You can start to learn Russian language with me if you're interested to get this kind of knowledge. And probably soon it will be not required. And what is very important, as you said, that you will 100% no need to do any kind of military service
yes, of
with
course.
golden visa. Could you tell me, please, how much money cost minimum property?
It depends on the region. Now, the municipal property investment, I would say right now is going to be Far East. So you're going to need to buy something in Vladivostok. and market value price is going to be around $260,000.
So if you have $260,000, no, it's minimum.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the minimum.
You can buy, let's say, any apartment, anything.
Yeah. Not any. It has to be not older than 2 years. So the way right now it functions is that the path towards the golden visa with a property investment is at least 1.5 years long. You have to first invest in a property, hold it for 1 year, and then you can apply. And the actual application time, it takes at least half a year. Now, a lot of our clients really are going through the so-called business investment. That is faster. It only takes 6 months. And there you need to invest in a Russian stock equivalent of about 30 million rubles.
30 million rubles.
So that's about $370,000, $380,000. But you need to invest only for 6 months. So, and that's a path not only for you, but to your whole family. So all your dependents. It's actually, the Russian golden visa is the most generous visa out there globally, because not only you are eligible for the permanent residency, but of course your spouse, your parents and the spouse of your parents. So if your parents are divorced and each of them are married, then the spouses can also go. Your grandparents, if you have anyone that is alive, and their spouses. Your children, adult children, which is very important, and their spouses. And your grandchildren and their spouses as well, of course, if the grandchildren is old enough. So it's kind of the whole family can go, and we have families that are very big right now that are moving across. It's a very, very generous program from that point of view.
Guys, by the way, if you have any kind of questions about golden visa, or if you have questions about previous visa which we discussed, getting residence permit because of traditional values, you can write in comments, and me and Ilya, we will answer for you. Also, guys, you can always get consultation, right, from guys. You provide, guys provide it for free. Here you will see the website MoveToRussia.
Yeah.
And guys will answer for your questions face to face, so don't be shy. And third question I wanted to ask you about why people move to Russia and from Europe, from US, and from which countries, and why?
I think the better question is to answer is that why people move from those countries. And we see right now globally a lot of people from US, from United Kingdom, from Germany, from Netherlands, from France, from Canada, from Australia, from New Zealand are looking for a new place to go to. Because they see that the economy is not doing too well, especially for if you're not part of the very rich people. If you're part of the very rich people, you also understand that sooner or later, because the economy is not going too well, you're going to have your taxes raised, the capital control is going to be in place, and maybe, especially in countries like United Kingdom, the pitchforks are going to come out. That means that kind of a almost civil war, revolution kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah, this is very common right now. That's on that level. This kind of the trends that we are seeing. And then the people that are very analytical and smart, I would say the smartest people are moving to Russia. Why is that? Because Russia is one of the 4 largest economies in the world. Lots of opportunities, the same values as people in Europe, especially kind of traditional conservative values. Russia is self-sufficient from the point of food. Russia is the largest producer of wheat in the world, largest exporter of wheat as well, and very energy self-sufficient, as you would say. Russia have all the gas and oil and everything else. In essence, with a turbulent time ahead, both in financial markets and just in life in general, I think that Russia is viewed as the safest harbor of everything else. Unless you, I don't know, want to move to China, but nobody will feel that much at home in China unless you know Chinese.
Yes.
It's easier to learn Russian probably, right?
Yes, I think Russian more easy than learning Chinese language.
True.
Okay.
China is great, but I mean, it's
The language is really quite complicated. And culture, yes, really, because Russia is the biggest country in the world, and we have half Europe, half Asia. That's why people from all the world actually feel here comfortable. So I can say like a teacher of Russian language is a second language, and I can say that like a lot of Chinese students come to Russia and they feel here comfortable, and people from America, from Europe, also from other countries, India, Pakistan, Africa. Everyone finds something similar here.
Russia is very culturally rich in that sense, but also I think what's important is that Russia acts quite tough when it comes to the laws. So you have to kind of adhere to the laws, you have to respect the laws, and that's why a lot of cultures that might be quite different feel quite at home within Russia.
Do you want to add something for our viewers, any kind of recommendations?
Well, I think the kind of living with the final thought is that take it easy, don't worry. I think the Shared Values program is one of the best opportunities really to move to Russia, especially if you don't have a large investment that you can do, so you don't have the opportunity or liquidity of go for the golden visa. Russia is gonna need at least 2 to 5 million people in workforce towards 2030. So if you're thinking about taking your family to a country that is well run and have excellent growth opportunities, go for the Shared Values visa, and within the 3 years, all those little things regarding those interesting special decrees are going to be likely cancelled or amended and done. Don't stress up, or as they say, I think in US, get your pantaloons in a twist.
And as always, you can click to the link if you have any kind of questions. Yes, and guys will answer.
Yeah, of course.
Ilya, could you tell us please more about your company, Move to Russia, and how do you work with your current clients?
So people choose us because they want to have everything done from start to finish, and essentially don't want to have any headache whatsoever. Two kind of main guiding philosophies that we have 100% success rate. So all our clients always get their residency permits.
100%.
Yeah, so far historical, that's what we always go for. And that's very important to us that we deliver. The second one is something that we always aim for, is that we ask clients for how was the process afterwards. And they usually tell us 10 out of 10. So we want this level of client service that our clients afterwards tell us that it doesn't feel like you're a business, you kind of feel like you're helping us almost as a family. Now, what people need to realize is that a move to another country is not something to be taken too lightly. It's not something that can be done very easily, especially if you do it of a move to Russia, due to historical fact that Russia could be quite bureaucratic.
Yeah.
So the big difference of kind of going and working with us, and it will feel like smooth sailing, or some people try to do it by themselves, and then it's very rough, lots of kind of problems, lots of things missed. One of the most common things is that people preparing all the documents, they come to Russia and they find that something is missing and they have to go all the way back to Australia or US. And wasted a lot of time, money, just because they didn't know about something that had to be done. Because unfortunately, Russia could be quite bureaucratic. It will be improving soon, in a couple of years maybe, but for now, if you don't want to risk your time and money, you best kind of work with MoveToRussia.com.
So how we always say, you get what you paid, right?
Well, you get much more than you paid, because people are actually saying this. It was 10 out of 10 service. Please take our money and we will recommend you all across. We do a lot of business by recommendation. So our clients afterwards recommend us to others.
And as I know, you also support your clients after getting visa, right? Because I saw, like also I got the information from my students who got visa with different companies, and I was surprised, like when they were struggling with some processes, so they got visa, they stay here, so I teach them Russian, and they say, oh, I need to go to this office and wait this and this, and I was like, why this company don't support them? Like it looks like they got visa and that's it. And as I know, you support clients also after getting visa, and they ask you about all these bureaucratic things.
Essentially, yes. We have our main kind of goal is first to deliver a residency, but afterwards, a lot of clients want to stay with us, so we continue to help them with all the small and little things. And if you want to kind of have your life in Russia on easy mode, yes, you work with us. The whole kind of bunch of headache that you might end up with later on after you get the residency, we can take care of that.
So thank you, Ilya,
Thank
for
you,
this
Anna.
information.
Of course. And also, last thing, we have a new thing. We're also helping people finding rental apartments with official registration, which has been a big headache.
Oh, you also can help to choose what kind of apartments they can rent.
Yes. And this has been a very important step as well, because a lot of foreigners, they come to Russia, they try to rent something, and then they rent unofficially, and then they have a problem with the registration, and then the whole thing kind of balloons into potentially even a deportation. So the registration is very important, and it's very important to find a landlord that is honest and actually registers you, and that's why we are there, to make sure everything is done by the book.
Well, it's really useful, because I also get faced with situation when I go to another countries, and if I need to rent apartment, it's really a headache. And also I think it's in any country headache. So
especially a headache if you want to have everything done by the book, and not, you know, like some shady things and then something is not right. So yes.
Cool.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much. Hope to see you soon. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
So guys, thank you for listening. Bye for now. Пока-пока.